down today? No? No? Oh no. Probably gonna need to straighten my bangs a little bit, but I figured we could do a little get ready with me, because honestly, I need to get ready. Please do not come for me. I am not a makeup artist. I am not a professional. This is just how I do my makeup, and it's not the important part of this video, so carry on. I will give a little backstory. I'm not going to go too much into everything because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and at the end of the day, I am a collection of everyone and everything I have come in contact with, and there is no one person's fault. I had a massive life shift between like 6 and 7. I didn't realize that during that period I started gaining weight, and you know, you never understand that fat is an insult until you're called it. I used to love my name. I thought Charlotte was unique. I didn't know a lot of Charlottes. I thought, you know, it was a little pretty, but kids are fucking cruel. I started really hating my name when Charlotte became Wilbur. And honestly, we've all had our fair share of times where we made fun of someone else. That example where the teacher will take out a tube of toothpaste and they'll squeeze it out and say, now try and get it back in the tube, and you know, you can't. Although, you know, me, I like slowly suctioned it so you could slowly get it back in. It's like, oh, see, I could get it all in. And that's cheating. That's not the lesson. This was also the period where I was slowly beginning to hate my photo taken. I also, and to this day, I still do it. You can go through all my damn Instagram photos, and it's almost wired in like muscle memory where I always want to like cover up, and I use like a hand because I was so nervous of my double chin, and I didn't want my chin to show. And I still do it. Like, I still feel uncomfortable smiling in photos without having my hand there. Can't snap my fingers and become a twig like I'm trying to give them what they want. Like, I remember saying that all the time, and I was trying. I would go through periods where I would eat a bunch of shit, eat my feelings, basically. It was my coping mechanism. And then I would step on the scale and be like, whoa, what the fuck? Just trying a bunch of fucking crash diets and then hating myself and feeling like a failure every time the weight came right back as it would. Doing keto and being like, holy crap, you can lose this much in this many days. Special K's big promotion was you can drop a jean size in 2 weeks, and like total bullshit, like total fucking bullshit. A lot of time what you're losing is water weight, but that doesn't fucking matter. Back to how I felt whenever I was a kid, it was like, oh, everything I'm doing wrong, every bad thing that happens, it must be because of my weight. Very black and white. It's either the end of the world or everything is going great. You're doing wonderful, honey, keep it going. But I couldn't, and I still can't find the line. I never know a gray area, and I can never stay in one. With a lot of these diets is they tell you like low carb, cut out fat. Your body is so freaking smart. Like, that's why these diets fail. We were hunters, so we didn't know when our next meal was gonna be. So our bodies evolved that when you're starving yourself, the second you eat, it's like, oh my God, give me more, because I don't know the next time I'm gonna get food. And when you cut out an entire food group, your body's gonna start craving it because cannot communicate. It doesn't know that you're going on this crash diet and what you're attempting. It's like, oh my God, you're depriving me of something that I use. And honestly, it's an awesome freaking thing. We gain weight in our bellies because we have so many vital organs down there that your body's trying to protect. It doesn't care what you look like in a swimsuit for summer. There's so much that they don't tell you with bulimia. Like, eventually you do start gaining weight. Your body's smart. So once it realizes like, hey, after she eats all these calories, she's gonna get rid of them. So let's take in all those calories as fast as we can and as much as we can. So not only was my stomach stretching because I'm constantly filling it with food, but then I'm eating more calories. I'm ingesting more calories. So my body is taking in more. And not only would I constantly be bloated and my face was swollen, but so many other health problems followed. And they don't talk about that. When I first started being bulimic, oh my God, like I felt like the hot chick, and I had never felt more pretty in my entire life. As the bulimia got worse and worse, you know, I was working in a restaurant, so I was just picking food. It started with a bite of this or a bite of this, and then before you know it, I am completely binging. It is just like left and right, I'm picking at food. And at first they'd be like, holy shit, how can you just eat and eat and eat and like not gain any weight? And I was like, haha, little do you know. You know, it was this little secret that was mine. It was a piece that I could control. You can't really control your surroundings or the shit that happens in your life, but like, this was something that I could do. This was mine. This was something that I could handle and I could feel good about. And not only is it hard to reach out for help, but a part of you doesn't want to. Like, you're not ready to give it up. It becomes your security blanket. And my closest friends knew about it. They knew, but they didn't know how bad it was. And then my best friend moved in with me and was like, holy shit, like, I had no idea. And you wouldn't. I wouldn't go out on my bad days because after you purge so much in a day, like your face swells up, your eyes swell up, and I wouldn't go out, or I'd call off work those days, fast for a bit, wait till all that bloat went down, and then I'd go out in public so no one would know. And it felt good that at least my best friend knew, at least he knew. And the sad thing was, it's like, how do you help someone who doesn't want to be helped? And I didn't want to be helped. It took me so long to even say the words bulimic. I didn't want to. I used every other word to dance around the bush of what it was because I didn't want to say that I was bulimic. I knew that I was, but I was in denial. Like, I was like, no, like I just have these behaviors occasionally, but like, no, it had clearly gone from me maybe like throwing up to look good for a dance or relieve some stress to every single day I just want to order and eat a shit ton of food just so I can throw it up. I had gone years like this. I became like the worst friend. I basically hid myself in my room. I stopped hanging out with my roommate, like my best friend. Like, I just always had my door shut. I was constantly ordering DoorDash or making my rounds to different fast food places multiple times a day, throwing up in the bathroom, back at it. And he was embarrassed to have friends over because the bathroom always smelled like vomit, and he couldn't bring food home because, like a fucking drug addict, he had it in the house, and even though it wasn't mine, I would go downstairs and just eat whatever he had. And I'd always say like, oh, I'll replenish it or this or that. I never fucking did because I couldn't keep up with my own food budget. It was just so sad because I knew what I was doing, and in that moment I'm on autopilot and I didn't fucking care. Really ruined my friendships. Like, I know we're still close and they will love me forever. I'm all about quality over quantity, and I'm so blessed and thankful for the love that I have around me, but those relationships will never be the same again. They will never be as close because I showed them that when push comes to shove, when I hit rock bottom, food became way more important. And that's a really shitty feeling, especially when I chose my addiction over them for years. It was very selfish, and it's all I could talk about because it's the only thing on my mind. Every single thing that I did every single day revolved around, what am I going to eat? What am I not going to eat? If I'm going to go here, am I going to encounter food? I couldn't go in front of a mirror without looking at my body and like body checking. And if I was having a bad day, oh my God, don't fucking look at me. I felt like everyone was looking at all my fat, okay? And in a binge, you don't think about anything else. It's like all the shit goes away. It's like you're getting high. It's like that until it's not, because you're getting full. And then immediately it's like, now you have to release it all. Now you have to go through the part of getting rid of it. And it was almost like this tension release where it's like, I loved so much that I was in control of this. I liked that I could make myself feel so shitty and I could be the one to instantly get rid of it. It is such a pacifier for me. But when I first came out about my ed, it was to the GM, the general manager that we had at the time, finally said it. I said, I'm bulimic. And I remember like tensing up at just saying the words, I'm bulimic. He made me feel like it was okay. I don't look at you any different. I don't think you're gross. Like, I'm still gonna love you. If there's anything I can do, let me know. But like, thank you for trusting me with this. And it meant a lot. It is still like a pivotal part in my recovery because I had a habit at work, like nitpicking little things, and slowly but surely, all I'm doing is eating. And I'd be like, oh my God, now they're gonna know. They're gonna know that what I'm doing. They're gonna know that I'm binging and I'm losing control. And that was fucking terrifying. But I knew that it would also help hold me accountable. I really couldn't stop. I'd be like, this is the last time. And honestly, how often can your support system believe this is the last time after like the 200th last time? We can't make her get better. And you don't want, it's a tricky situation because you don't want to make them worse. And with eating disorders, if someone's like, did you eat today? Like, that is such a one view, because if you're bulimic or you're a binge eater, like, bitch, I already ate like 10 times today. It's what I did after I ate. And you know, every day is a freaking struggle. And for the longest time I was like, well, I'm not throwing up my food, so I'm doing great. Like, you're purge free. But then my therapist was like, I mean, you're still abusing laxatives or over exercising when you overindulge in calories. Like, you are still purging, just not by vomiting. And like, oh man, that fucking cut deep. Like, I was like, so I'm still bulimic? I was like, at what point do I lose that title? Because there is a hierarchy in eating disorders, and if you're bulimic, you're almost looked at as like, oh, you failed anorexia. And I was like, I don't want this title anymore. I feel like it's such a gross title. I hated the category of eating disorders that I was in. If that's even a thing, you should hate all of them. You can't exchange one bad habit for another, and just because it's less damaging health-wise doesn't mean it's not still damaging. I look at it like, you know, you see an alcoholic, and eventually, like, after you wean down and you stop drinking completely and you're sober, it becomes a thing where it's like you stay away from bars. You know, you can't be around certain social gatherings or have a drink again, and that gets easier. But with eating disorders, you have to partake in that drug multiple times a day. You have to have that drug to survive. And then when you're told that you need that drug multiple times a day and in certain amounts, like, how do you tell an alcoholic to just have one beer every couple hours? It's a pain in the ass is what it is. Like, I fall down so often. I know the right things. Like, I know, and I've done the research of the things that I need to do to get better. And I know that with recovery, you have to accept that you are going to gain weight. And oh my God, like, that alone was like a hard thing to wrap my mind around, especially because with bulimia, you gain weight. So I'm like, fucking great. Like, I'm going to have to be friggin' 10 times my size. It's just a constant roller coaster and a constant battle with my mind, trying to reach this unattainable goal. I've had so many wonderful, beautiful souls reach out to me since I came out. And I'm so good at giving advice because it's the advice that I wish that I would take. But yeah, when it comes to actually following through with my own words, it's like, one minute I'm like, yeah, girl, get it. And the next I'm slapping myself in the face because my scale is pissed off about it. And everyone's like, oh, just throw out your scale. I have 4 scales. I have 4 scales. And was so stressful. I would be in the bathroom for like 10 fucking minutes, not able to tell what my exact weight was because my scales were all reading something different. But I mean, I've made progress with that. I'm not at the point where I feel like I can get rid of my scale and not lose my shit. I feel like if I got rid of my scale or smashed my scale, I would go out the next bad day or I ate more than what I told myself I was going to eat. I would go out and buy a scale that next morning without even thinking about it. So, I mean, it is important to take baby steps. I know that if I look back at my first eating disorder journal, like I would have never fucking thought that I would get here. And here I am. If I'm up a few pounds, I immediately think everyone can tell. Which I'm up in weight right now, and I feel like, you know, everyone can tell. I feel like you're able to tell right now. And, you know, if I contour my face enough, you know, I'll be a little less noticeable. And I'll be like, okay, but when I'm bloated, my one ring doesn't fit around my finger. And they're like, no one is gonna look at you and be like, oh man, she gained like 30 pounds overnight. Like, people are looking at me and care that much. Like, I am not a spectacle. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not constantly under a microscope. But why do I care so much? I feel like people will be nicer to me because of my weight. I'm really good at turning something positive into a negative. There's so many times where I'll wake up in the morning, I'll be like, oh, you look good today, girl. You're gonna have a good day. And then I will step on the scale and it won't read the number that I thought it was gonna read. And I'll instantly see what I missed. I'm like, oh my God, how could you have missed like those 3 pounds that you're up? Like, how could you have missed that? I see them everywhere. And then I'll instantly ruin my day. And it's like, just stop stepping on the scale. Just stop doing it. But that need to know is so overpowering. It's like, we're good. I've come so far, but I am sure as shit not there yet. And I don't really, unless I'm at the end of my rope where I don't feel like I can handle more stress, I don't even crave it. Sometimes I do. If I've had a few days where I've just been eating like absolute garbage and I'm up and awake. I've posted pictures on like my Finsta and my Instagram of like literally like a few days apart where it's like, hey, I purged like 2 days ago and now I fasted so the bloat's gone. And like completely different fucking people. Like, you would be like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, that's not you. And it is. It's me. And I don't know how to change the chemistry in my brain. That's not very good. Oh, we're just figuring that all about, aren't we? When I go through something difficult or I see something triggering, like, I immediately just want to eat my face off. It is the first thing I think about leaning towards. You know, I go online and 1 second I'm Googling, you know, calories in this, and, you know, I shouldn't be Googling. But I'll find something that I'm like, ooh, this is healthy, or I'll go on like a health food kick. And then I'll go online and then my entire fucking news feeds on social medias will be diet this, you know, like, ooh, here's this yummy recipe for this super fattening food. Oh, but here's a workout plan that you should get. And here's like, my news feed is just flooded with ads and posts from these pages that on days where I don't want to be food focused, it's just punching me in the face. And it's like, you can't escape it, trying to take care of your mental health while also interacting on social media. It's just like, it's basically fucking impossible. I can't erase my internet history and have shit be different because every other day I'm searching for new things. And I wish that there was no correlation between what I search on my phone or look at on my phone to what I get shown, but I know that that's how it works. I'm tired of feeling like I need to be ready for summer when every body is a summer body. It feels never ending. I'm probably gonna do my hair off camera, but thank you for letting me ramble on, for getting ready with me, but thanks for listening. Subscribe! And Tune in next time.